His attractive body with broad shoulder, he was undoubtedly a man of a strong build. Jungkook was taking out his clothes from the closet, and with quick step, he moved toward the dressing room. For a moment, they felt as if he could see. No, he couldn't see. Then how? How could this man walk so fast? For the first time, they had doubt about this. Jungkook, who came out in a night dress, without saying anything, he went toward the bed and walked toward there and turned off the lights. Jungkook also came and sat next to him, who had already lied down to sleep. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say all that. They was very close to him and was apologizing for what he said, while Jungkook was completely silent. Jungkook, they put his hand on his arm and start shaking him, but he didn't say anything. They go to sleep. It's already so late. Without opening his eyes, he answered, No, first forgive me. I made a mistake. My intentions were not to hurt you. I don't know how it's come out of my mouth. But it is true. What is there to feel bad about this? And I also forbade Uncle Kim that he shouldn't ruin your life by getting you married to a blind person like me. But he didn't listen to me, and your life is ruined. No, Jungkook, it's not like that. You're very good. It just came out of my mouth by mistake. I didn't mean to hurt you. Please, forgive me. Please, go to sleep there. It's already so late. Jungkook turned around and lay down. Taehyung got very close to him. I will not back down until you forgive me. Jungkook smiled in his charming way. Okay, I'll forgive you. Taehyung's face was touched by a smile on his word. At basement. Oh, leave me. A hand will break. It's bound to break. Jungkook cruelly twisted the waist of the man who died with a rope in front of him, causing the sound of something breaking. The entire basement were echoed with a scream, and the man screamed. And these screams were bringing peace to Jungkook. Tell me, who is your other partner? Otherwise, I will break this arm too. John, Haru, the man who was half unconscious from keep speaking. He kept on squeezing his hand and mind of Jungkook, standing in front of him by his word. They had stayed at Kim house for a few days after taking permissions from Jungkook, and now he returned. That was a surprise return. The mother had planted the seed of love for Jungkook in Taehyung's heart. Knowing the whole truth about Jungkook, they felt his heart is beating for him. Jungkook's parents had died in a car accident, and while saving them, Jungkook's eyes lost his light. Some broken glass pieces went inside his room, due to which he lost his ability to see, and 16 years had passed. Since that incident happened, Jungkook had been undergo treatment. 2 or 3 surgeries had already done, but no significant results were have to seen yet. Yet they began a feeling of sympathy and love for Jungkook. In Taehyung's heart, he's very lonely there. He's dear to me, and all my child. He's very patient. He had been shattered for 4 years. Wrapped him up, my child. The mother favored Jungkook more than him. I'll take your sadness away and give you so much love, Jungkook. They had returned to mansion, addressing him in his heart. They had come to know that the maid Jungkook had gone somewhere on some important work. Ever since Jungkook had bought to the John mansion, he had hired a maid, Jimmy, So that they would not feel lonely, they took advantage of Jungkook's absence and got ready well today and started waiting for him. When they saw himself in the mirror, his heart started beating fast. Knowing that Jungkook couldn't see him, he still got ready with all his heart. They stayed awake for a long time that night, waiting for him, but he didn't come. So in anger, he changed his dress and took out a nightie and put it on. He felt very ashamed while wearing it, but in a way, his heart was satisfied because Jungkook can't see him, and that's why he did all this. In a black color nightie that came up to his knees, he looked so. Lying on the bed, they placed his hand on Jungkook's side. They was lost in his thought, drifting off to sleep. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, and he returned and entered the house. His clothes were bloodstained. There was a look of extreme anger and terror on his face, as if he'd destroy everything that came in his path. He pursed his lips and quickly climbed the stairs toward the room. He didn't know if they had returned or not, but he still couldn't go to room in this state. He went to his special room, took off his shirt, and looked at his face and chest, where there was a mark. He cleaned his wound while applied antiseptic on them and started taking a shower. After taking a shower, he came out while wearing a towel. He had no dress here, so he locked the room and went toward his room. As soon as he opened the door, the fairy lights were on in the room. He was shocked for a moment. His eyes were wandered, and he stopped on the bed, staring at the boy in nightie who had changed the atmosphere of the entire room. Jungkook hand helplessly went to his bare chest. At the point of his heart beating very slowly. Taking a slow step, he came closer to the bed and stood there with very deep eyes, examining the sleeping beauty from head to toe. His eyes drifted their legs to his face, creating an endless storm of emotion in Jungkook's heart. Only then they changed his position. Now, Jungkook sees him clearly. He found it more difficult to control himself. He came closer to Tae on the bed, on his knees, and stared at him with wide eyes again. Beautiful. How beautifully Almighty has created you. Jungkook leaned forward a little, placing his thirsty lips on their forehead and closed his eyes. For a moment their body was shivered at the cold touch, but he was lost in sleep again. But how? How can he stop himself now? He started losing his control of himself. He forgot that he was very angry a few moments ago, but now there was no hardness on his face at all. The young being had him completely captured in his own embrace. Jungkook was leaving loving touches on his cheeks, feeling their body in his hand, and was breathing deeply. Suddenly, Jungkook came over Tae and put his weight on him. He was touching his body with hands, and suddenly, the strong fragrance would catch the senses of Tae. He slowly opened his eyes. They were stuck looking at him. He was looking at Tae with very intoxicated eyes. Seeing him, the breathing became deep and his heart rates were increased. Jungkook was focused on Tae's lips. Without blinking his eyes, they trembled at the sight of his bare chest. They was completely hidden in his broad body. So beautiful, he said, placing his lips on their neck and take a deep breath. They suddenly start to panic. What happened, wifey? You are panicking a lot. All these preparations is for me, right? He was speaking meaningfully, touching their lips with his. Please, step back. Nothing is for you. They immediately stood up, pushing him back and standing far away. Jungkook himself had grabbed him, but they immediately dropped out of his grip. He started turning on the lights while fixing himself. "Don't turn it on," Jungkook suddenly spoke and stopped him. They stopped there and looked at him shocked. Jungkook didn't want him to see the mark of injuries on his body. You didn't wear a shirt?" Ali silently got up, took out his dress from the cupboard. He angrily walked toward the other room. "Change here." They didn't know how it slipped through his mouth. "I'm blind, not you," he spoke in a stern tone, slamming the door in the dressing room. He scared Tae. But why do I feel like he can see?" For a moment, they had the feeling that Jungkook was watching him, so he panicked. While in reality, there was happiness hurt. Jungkook came out in anger and ignored Tae and went straight to the bed. They stood there, looking at him. Something was missing. But what? They slowly walked toward him. There was a side table. They reached out to pick up his mobile phone, but suddenly, Jungkook placed his hand on Tae and glared at him with his piercing eyes. "Go to bed, be quiet and sleep. Otherwise, if the devil inside me wake up, your sobs will echo throughout the night, and then, every night, you will yearn for sleep." They said each and every word, looking at Tae without blinking. They was terribly scared. "Jungkook, you can see,"